Daar is die aanmerking. Wat er dat werden we toch. I know. Yeah.
Okay. Quick. Zman tzitzis. Availas has love zman. Which we're on page Ayin Beis. It's a Siman Yud Ches. Lila loves man tzitzis. Night is not the time of tzitzis. Shenever uriyisam oisei. The Gemara says uriyisam you have to see it. Pratik sus Lila. That
I think what time can I take off my tzitzis and walk around
and this is the machloikis that we're going to have in a second. What does it mean, not ksus laila? You're not mechuyev to wear tzitzis at any point. It's just it's a special schus to do it. Question is, by night the person is chayiv or potter. We say it isam prat ksus laila. What does that mean? We'll learn in a second. But a blind man, even though he can't see, he has to wear tzitzis. Shlamita kasav elaksus she'ena beriya, elaksus she'ena beriya b'shas levisha. V'lachin kol ma shalovish balayla, afil aksus amiyuchad liyoim potter. What does it mean, aksus laila? That means by night, pajamas. Kol ma shalovish b'yoim, afilu aksus amiyuchad lalayla. But clothing that he wears a day, even if it's a type of clothing that it's miyuchad l'layla, say he has gatkis that he wears by night. I mean, gatkis wouldn't be chayav tzitzis anyway. I'm just giving an example. Now, something which is a night beged, but a person sometimes is cold by day, so he'll wear pajamas under his pants. So the first shitta is that ksus laila means pajamas. The Yeshem, and the other opinion is shloimi takos al ksus v'yuchad laila shoyis ksus upote. Fin lev shayim kim shebachil nasa lav shabeish and l'riya al ksus v'yuchad liyim. Oy am yuchad liyim v'laila chayiv tzitz afim lev shabelayla v'varach lav kim shenasa lav shabeish ro l'riya. Mach shalom zbar la lochik divri mi yesh lachum b'sura terik chumra shnei zdores. They should put tzitzis on a beged that's for a day or liyim v'layla. Afim lev shabalayla. V'chein yotel tzitzis afil ksus amiyuchad l'layla im lev shabayayim. So there's two opinions basically. What does it mean? Isa means not the type of clothing you wear by night, which is pajamas, or that just the bottom line is that by night you put them a day you're chayiv. So we're machmer like both. Avlinyan bracha given sav brachas lahaka lachin lo yavar rak shavei lo b'yoyim. Ksus amiyuchad liyam, ksus amiyuchad liyam v'layla. But lagabe the bracha, in order to make a bracha, it has to be by day, and it has to be clothing of the day, not pajamas.
So we should have a night tzitzis and a day tzitzis.
So it's good to have a night and a day tzitzis, yeah. Mishu lavush talis gadol b'yoyim. The person that was wearing a talis gadol, when people say baruch hu, he used to take off the talis. We don't wear tzitzis as a beged. We wear it because the mitzvah of tzitzis. So once they say baruch hu, if you're wearing it, it sounds like you hold against the Torah.
Like you're holding on?
Against the Torah. The Torah says that, according to one opinion, that Balayla is not the Zman of Tzitzis.
Right.
And you're wearing Tzitzis by night.
But what is that with Baruch Hu? That's what
Because as soon as you say Baruch Hu, it became night.
from Mary.
Yeah. As soon as I say Baruch Hu, it became night.
So that man don't say take off the Tallis, or cotton, whatever they were wearing.
The Tallis Gadol.
People that's wearing Tallis Gadol.
That's why we're careful. We don't, as you see in a second, now Belil Yom Kippur is one exception. And not Yom Kippur that we wear Tallis Gadol. Hakol noigim l'sata b'Tallis Gadol levarach lam b'yom. When we sit in Oisa Balaylo, the night of Yom Kippur, the minig is to wear a talis gadol. Neisha dava yedu shem leif shenai so l'shem mitzvah tzitzis ela kadei leidamas l'malochim leif shem lavonim esat from lavonim. Everyone knows in the eyes of Yom Kippur that we're not wearing the tzitzis as the mitzvah tzitzis. We're wearing it because we want to look like angels. And angels are wrapped in white. Truth is, Minik Chabad is the Motzi Yom Kippur that we also might have in the Tallis Gadol. It's just that usually we have the tzitzis were wrapped around. Also, our head is wrapped, or a little bit of the head is covered with the Tallis. That's a Minik Chabad. But the after Yom Kippur, you just put on your hat. The person that goes over in front of the Omer to daven, they cover that tzibur. You're allowed to wrap even by night. They cover that tzibur. So the person that goes to sleep by night with a blanket. Even though the according to the opinion that it's not with ksus laila, it has to do with day by night. A lot of people sleep in their blankets after it's already day. Half became a minute posh, tzitzis klal. Ben shal some ben shal pishtem ne shem shel chayvetera elois and godem shem skatsam derech lavisha shnama shetachasaba derech hatzok and sidim mekonim en mechalak ksus klal. Turn the page. Mechamak mekimish shel kemol svarazu v'chenim azdinim v'yakar shel tzemer if it's made out of wool yasa keren achas agula kedei lift to erin atzitzis l'divrei hakol. It's not so neged this din. No one's sleeping with wool. Whoever sleeps with wool sheets. Maybe, huh?
If they're in a tent, so it's cold. I'm all excited, they probably do.
Oh yeah, could be a Moloch
Yeah, but it's a lot warmer.
A Moloch Satan.
We the church of the word Gospels.
No, you tell me. I don't know.
I don't know, I'm asking him. Curious enough. I'm working in France today with the guide. I'm told to somebody in Yiddish. And it's easy for you to say. Whatever I was so easy to understand the word I was saying.
This is really where I'm trying to get to. From when do you make the bracha in the morning on tzitzis? There is a shita mishiyake ben tchelis shaba v'loven shaba. When you recognize in the tzitzis between the blue and white string, from when you could see and recognize the difference of loven and tchelis, that's when the chiv of tzitzis starts. No. Shows a fellow leader says at tzitzis of b'shem akidim and tchelis shabal loven shabal yochel lavar chalad the kvarchol lov shatz akiv v'cheinoig. Meaning is like the second opinion. Consider the altar was, yeah.
You would actually, it's not a different place. So this thing goes differently.
Yeah, same thing. Everything, I'm with the shachar over there is in the summer, could be 1:30 in the morning.
Right.
And the winter, Alois shachar could be 12 o'clock in the afternoon.
So you're not clear what's this on.
It's crazy. I would love to see if there's a flight to Israel through Iceland. There isn't, but I know I told my wife, I'd love if we ever have to go in the winter to Israel to fly on Asar B'Tevis and to stop for 3.5 hours in Iceland and fast. The whole Asar B'Tevis is for the fast that starts at 1 and finishes at 4. Not bad, huh?
So if tzitzit, if Lila is patur, that means that the film is not like Lila is not from tzitzit. Okay. So according to this whole thing, he goes according to that opinion that's Kishit Lila, and not according to Yom.
Right. It depends if you hold. But it's interesting. How do you have a machloikis? What's this man of the beginning of tzitzis? The answer is like this. Because the Mishnah we learned yesterday was talking about Shema. And the Mishnah says Mishayakir bein Tchelis Lalavim. But the Mishnah didn't talk about when you're chayv tzitzis. Mm-hmm. And Abaye says, when do you start the chiyuv of Tefillin? He says Mishayakir. With tzitzis, it doesn't say. It doesn't say in the Gemara. So it depends how you learn. If you learn like Tosfos says that there's a Gemara that says, you see the tzitzis, uzachartem, you'll remember. So the Tosfos brings a Gemara, when you see the tzitzis, you'll remember another mitzvah. Which mitzvah? The mitzvah of saying Shema. So if you learn like Tosfos, and Tosfos says, what does it mean when you see the difference of tzitzis between the white string and the blue string? So when you see the difference of white and the blue string, now you have two mitzvahs. You have the mitzvah to wear tzitzis and the mitzvah to wear Shema. Obviously, according to Tosfos, Mishayakir, both for the Mishayakir of tzitzis and Mishayakir of Shema, is going to be the same Mishayakir, obviously. And also, according to Tosfos, you have a Befedish Gemara that says that the Mishayakir is this first time when you could say Shema, and it's the first time when you wear tzitzis.
I don't think somebody's colorblind or blind.
So he has to ask other people, and they'll tell him. Right, just like a summa. So that's if you learn like Tosfos. But if you learn Rashi said that when you in the Mishnah says when you see the difference between Tchelis Lalavim and tzitzis, said if you have a big package of wool and you put color on it, sometimes some parts of the wool takes the color and some doesn't take the color. So there's splotches of, say, blue and white. So Rashi says when there's enough light in the day that you could tell the difference between the splotches of blue and the spots of white. So Rashi doesn't hold that tzitzis, that has to do with the tzitzis. Tosfos says Mishayakir ben Tchelis Lalavim means in the tzitzis. Why Mishayakir ben Tchelis Lalavim? Because that's when starts the mitzvah of tzitzis. And when the mitzvah of tzitzis starts, the mitzvah of Krishma starts. They go together, Krishma and tzitzis. That goes according to Tosfos Pshat, that Mishayakir ben Tchelis Lalavim means in the tzitzis. According to Rashi, Mishayakir ben Tchelis Lalavim has nothing to do with tzitzis. If you're a farmer and you have wool and you dyed the wool, so in the morning, if you want to look to see if it's dyed well, you need light. And nothing to do with mitzvah of tzitzis. Zero to do with the mitzvah of tzitzis. So then, that's the second opinion. Second opinion is the Mordechai. The Mordechai said, there's a lot of things that have a mitzvah by day. And the Mishnah says, Kol davar shemitzvah b'yom, mitzvah kol hayom, from Amad HaShachar. However, you're supposed to wait to start the mitzvah from Neitzachama. That's the way the Mishnah says in Daf Chof in Megillah. Why do you have to wait until Neitzachama? Rashi says because people can't recognize. If you, like I keep on saying, if you go to Rebbe Google and say, when is Amud HaShachar? You go to Chat GPT and you ask, when is Amud HaShachar? They're not going to know what Amud HaShachar is. There's no scientific for Amud HaShachar.
Say GPT?
Chat GPT.
GPT.
Yeah, the artificial intelligence.
So notes on my Google.
Yeah, young kids, they think they're their friends. This guy just wanted to show me how ChatGPT is his best friend, And also, he wanted to show me that ChatGPT is the most brilliant Talmud Chacham.
Actually, it's not.
So he said he talks to his phone. He says, what he calls his phone. Jason. He says, Jason, give me a good schmooze from a greasy 10th grade Maggid Shir in a yeshiva. So the guy starts spitting out. He says, "Oh, my dear Yankel, you have to learn. You have to steig. I'm telling you, you have to learn Torah day and night. I'm telling you, my dear Yankel, don't waste even one moment. Bein Azmanim is not for you. Sit and learn Gemara." It sounds good, right? And all of a sudden, he throws in Yankel, Yachela Kalakam and Mal Mamish, a greasy Rebbe in a yeshiva in 10th grade does not say that. I'm sorry.
No.
So,
The also where you do the Mary Shiva, the Shiva Rebbe does the.
yeah.
He doesn't say mamish because that's all about it.
Yeah, okay. So Chat GPT, that's a walk. That's a walk.
He said mamish, he's a mamish.
Kayla come in Mamish. And this guy wanted to show me how Chat GPT is. I said there's a shtick. I'm this guy. He's Beblach and Borscht. He's putting together things that don't go together.
Interesting.
Yeah. So when it comes to Alois Shachar, you can't trust him. But you could tell him what time is sunrise. Sunrise will tell you right away what time is sunrise. So Rashi says, really the day starts by Alois Shachar. But because people get confused, so the Chacham said, wait for all the mitzvahs until Netzach Hama. So it sounds like really Rashi holds that Alois Shachar is when the day starts. However, over there, if you look in the Ravia, which is this second opinion that's quoted here, which is in the Mordechai, he says that the day, he says that at least what he says sounds like that the day really starts by Netzach Hama. That the day really starts by Netzach Hama.
Your clarity, you have to put on by Netzach Hama.
No, we're talking about when does it come out? Here, take this Shulchan Aruch Siman Yud Ches, page Ayin Daled. We're asking what time you have to start putting on tzitzis in the morning.
Yeah.
So one opinion says, the second opinion says, the other opinion says, Mishayakir ben Tchelis Lalova. So it's a machloikis rishonim. So I think number one, it's totally in the machloikis in our Mishnah. Rashi Tosfos says ben Tchelis Lalova means ben Tchelis Lalova, between the tzitzis. So and he brings the Gemara in Menachos, which he thinks is lalocha. When you become obligated in tzitzis, you'll become obligated in Shema. So, according to Tosfos, the Pshat, the Mishnah, Mishayakim and Tchelis Love means in the tzitzis. In the same moment, you're chayiv b'shman tzitzis, which is Mishayakim. Okay, very good. And according to Tosfos, Mishayakim is the same Mishayakim, not like the Rashba, which we'll talk about next week. Obviously, not like the Rashba. But the Ravi and the Mordechai must learn like Rashi that Ben Tchelis L'Lovin doesn't mean the strings of the tzitzis. The guy has a warehouse full of wool and he dyed it and he wants to see in the morning if it dyed well. There's nothing to do with this. So we have nowhere in the Shas to say that the mitzvah of tzitzis is done with Mishayakim. So the Ravi says, it's like every mitzvah in the Torah. It starts from Alois Shachar. Every mitzvah we say you should try to wait till a Netzach Hama. So he says here is different. Why? So let me read it for you. He said, he says like this. He says that the Ravya said that Hani Mili, that you have to wait for the sunrise. Bahanu d'ksiv b'hu b'yoyim. Avol tzitzis lo ksiv b'yoyim. It doesn't say b'yoyim. Elo. V'riyisa moise. V'riya talya milsa. Ma'amad ha'shocher. Shari l'chatchila. V'chein, he says, by shemeres yom keneged yoyin le'titful ad ha'netzach hama. V'emer b'gemora. Why? Satach when the very Rishonim shows up, Kamash v'gedem by Sfira b'yamamo. Alma kol milsa de la solke b'yoyim b'yin Sfira lo yamrin mitzvah salayla kola Yom ad la'achar netzachama. So it sounds, you hear Bencha, it sounds from the Mordechai that he holds that the day really starts by sunrise. Alamai Torah lets you do things also earlier, but that's when you need Yom. But over here it says Riisen, and you can see it's from Alois Shachar, you can see.
In those days, you didn't have lanterns.
I guess Riisen, Chazal is teaching, means without a lantern. Riisen without any help from an external thing. So okay, so that's the pshat of the machloikis. That's the pshat in this machloikis, and again, it touches. I'm going through all the sugyas. You see, it touches on. You see, keep on seeing that the Rishonim, different Rishonim had different attitudes, and what's Yom? If Yom starts really from Alois Shachar, and Eitzachama is just whatever. Chum said you might get, or no, Yom really starts by Eitzachama. Lamai, the Torah says, you know what? If you're pressed for time, we'll let you do the mitzvah also Ma'alois HaShachar. There seems to be a little bit of tension between the Rishonim on this. And those that are learning through Prakim Rambam, it's just interesting that everything in the base of to do with the Chumash today also, but everything in the base of Mikdash, it's like interesting. When the sun set, that's it. It was Dam Sheshokol Avachama, Korban, if it's L'Shnei Yom V'Layla Echod, it turns into Noisa, right? Shokol Meshkia. So the one that Meshki, it's not suffik. In Lagabi Noisa Schif Koris. There's no suffik. Sun sets, the guy eats of it, Chayiv Koris. That's it. So like it's interesting. When the day finishes, so Lagabi something, sun sets, day is over. Medeirais. Lagabi other things, we say, oh, it's a suffik Banish Mashas. In the morning, it's the opposite. All the mitzvahs that you have to do by day, you could start from Alois HaShachar. There seems to be a tension in the Rishonim. Why? But Metzia says you could do it in Alois HaShachar. It's a Mishnah Mefurish in Megillah and Davchov. And it's not even a suffix. It's interesting. I think the word that I said the other day is a true word. Because when the Eibishter made that there is a day, the day finishes, and then there's the next day. When the sun sets, the day is over. And now the day is finished. When it's within a day, Yom V'Layla, and the Shaila is what's Yom and what's Laila. There's a little bit of light. A little bit of light. Seheishan Yom, Seheishan Yamama. A bissel Tzayama, a bissel Kedusha, a bissel Lichtigkeit. Ma'at Oir, Doicha Harbe Ben Achoshech. The Alter Rebbe says in Tanya, Ma'at Oir. So Alois HaShachar, Shantog. But it's all within the same day. The question is it Laila or is it Yom? When the sun sets, the day is over. So Lagabi Hektish, Lagabi Noiser, Pigul, Lagabi Dam, Sheshokol Avacham, it's over. The korban is finished. It's toast. Lagabi Shabbos, like other things, okay, it's a Suffolk Deraisa. Suffolk Kuliyam. Okay. Let's go weiter.
Hold on, says this in the morning, say brachas after always.
Oh, that's next it. But mashmash with the tzitzis. Page Ein Dalet. Person shouldn't put on the talis till he's makib ben tchelis l'loven. The city passes lagamri like this. They have to be mashayaki. Okay. Amazad b'titzken shalom l'shachar k'mei slichas. We shouldn't make a bracha. Sure, yom yimashmash b'tzitzis yivorach aleim. Yishum mashmash ukil loivsha. Afsha. I'm like mashmash ain't sheikh l'vorach achsha mash kfar lovish can shalom l'shachar. So a person that gets dressed before Amad HaShocher should later be mashmash and b'tzitzis. And in those days, they used to say slichas. They used to start very early. So tefillin they put on later, but the talis they put on before slichas.
They're talking about Tallis cotton.
No, I'm talking about Tallis Gadol. So the same thing would apply for Tallis cotton.
Masters means
Yeah. Same thing would apply. It's just that by a Tallis cotton, it's not a big deal. Why? Because anyway, there's a lot of people that don't make a minik Chabad is that if you get dressed in the morning when you can't make a bracha, you didn't fully take negavas or whatever, so you don't make the bracha. And then when you put on your talis gadol, you have a mind also for your talis gadol. Right? No, so it's not such a big deal. But the din would be the same. Yeah, if a person gets dressed before Lois Shachar, you should wait till. Huh?
Before you get married, you're doing all this.
Which bacher wakes up before Lois Shachar? Oh no! If he no, no. I'll tell you what. The in Chabad, they're very makbid that before the chasna to wear night tzitzis and day tzitzis. So you for sure have no shaila about the bracha because you put on a new pair of tzitzis.
I wasn't put on a new pair before always because you got them.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why the din would really be the same. So the same thing, yeah. Then would be the same thing. It would be mashmash with tzitzis after Lois Hashach and then make the bracha.
Why have to put on the pair of tzitzis? Just open them.
No, because how could you make a bracha when you're wearing it straight by night? How can you make a bracha on it? How can you make a bracha on it? You wore it. What's the chiddush now? What you didn't put on you didn't do a ma'aseh. You're wearing it from by night.
Mitzvah got broken by night. And now it's a mitzvah again.
Okay, so this is yeah. Okay, the last thing. It's a person that puts on tzitzis after daven ma'ariv. He already turned it into night by saying tefillas arvis. If he didn't daven, he could make a bracha at Tzeis Kechavim until Tzeis Kechavim.
Oh no, so it makes it a Shabbos or Rashidus Revuda.
Right, exactly. It's interesting that he says you still can make a bracha until Tzeis Kechavim. Why Tzeis Kechavim? The Badei Shulchan says a whole pilpul that it's a svek sveiker. I'm not sure that's the reason really. I know Rabbi Lerner gave me once a pilpul that he wrote about this. He had a bit of a nice word. I like what he says. I'm not mikor the dinner. I don't understand why this has to have a shaykh with svek of a brochus. The Alter Rebbe said that he thinks that the ikra din is like the Ravi and the Mordechai, that Mashiach Namad Shachar is Shasri and so Til Tzeis Kechavim is also the Shasri. The person at night could still see until Tzeis Kechavim, you could still see. So that's why I don't know why you have to go into fancy lumdus about sveka. Okay, put a bookmark here, and let's go to Siman Lamed. Here we have some time. Let's go to Siman Lamed. And maybe next week we'll do the whole Siman Lamed. I just want to do the last seat and show you something that bothered me until I came up with a teretz. So there's man tzitzis and there's man tefillin, and we'll learn about it in the Tshuvat Tzemach Tzedek when the Rishonim. Is the same and not. In the morning we have 3 mitzvahs that we do. I do tzitzis, tefillin, and klishma. Some Rishonim have all 3 are the same. Sheyakir and Sheyakir means the same thing. All 3 are the Zalbazach and Sheyakir. All 3 is the exact same moment. Okay, very nice. For those who are showing the whole way. Look at the last seat. Misha Shochim Alei Tefillin Kol Hayom. Person forgot, he didn't put on tefillin the whole day. And this Kalach is Shpal Tefillas Arvis. Now after Ma'ariv, it's like a chap that he didn't put on tefillin. It's like a funny case. How does that happen that a person forgot to put on tefillin?
We've been a time, I all the time.
We've
been a time.
I hear. I hear.
You know how it could happen? If somebody, let's say, is a day person, then for some reason something happens that they have to do things that are different.
Things got thrown off.
Yeah.
I hear. Okay. And this Kalach is Shpal Tefillas Arvis. You remember after Ma'ariv. There's an opinion that it's also he already turned it into his Laila and also his man Sheva Bekrishma Tefillah Shalarvis. He's going to put on film now. He made a date, but it's like the idea of 2 kulas that says that doesn't make sense. It's a yom is a Laila. If he didn't daven, I feel like tzibur ispalalu, even if the tzibur was mispalal, emekach klum. If he didn't daven, I don't care that the tzibur was mispal, even though the Gabi Shabbos said the whole tzibur is mispal, it forces him to be ma'aseh v'chelak. It doesn't matter. But Lagabi Laila, Sinish Laila, give a shu, he didn't do anything to be saisa, so it's not a problem. So I'll spare you the agony and the pilpul that I had until I came up with the because I'm just going to go straight to the Riftik Pshat. There's the Tilo Dov is Mamash Moiridik Egoin. It was a Rovin Verditcha. So he has two pshatim in the Alter Rebbe. Now I'll go to his second pshat, which is the real pshat. He says, Yesh Mishachay Lakalzeh. What is it that there is a shita in Lagabe in Hilchas Nida, Lagabe Hefsek Taida, that they already said Borchu. And the Shaila is they already said Borchu in Makabah Shabbos, and she wants to make a Hefsek Taida. Lepoil Tzemach Tzedek is Mekel, like the Siddur Tara. But it's a Makloik, the Shulchan Aruch, it's a Makloik Tzedek Vav. They took an early Shabbos, but she says, no, but I want to make a Hefsek Taida to start counting my Shiva Nakim. So he says the Yesh Choylek Azem is that there is an opinion that says that even if she was Makabel Shabbos early and she was said Baruch, she heard that Sibur say Baruch and she herself said Baruch. Hotnish Satan, she could still make a Hefsek Taida. There's nothing to do. There's nothing to do. Who cares? Yeah. He says, but I don't understand. Why does the Alter Rebbe says Tov Lochush? What's Tov Lochush? If he's going like the Svar Acharon, he's being Mekel. What do you mean Tov Lochush?
Why is Mekel Machim?
And he says Yesh Mishachel because he can still put on film. Says Mekel. That's what his question is. I have an answer, but that's what the Tiladav's question is. So Yesh Mishachel that the Mekel, and they say you could always put on film, even if you daven might have, and you said Baruch, you could still put on film. So why does Alter Rebbe say Yesh Lochush l'Svar Acharona?
He's arguing on the we just finished.
I thought also Yesh Mishachel is Machme, and then and that was his first shot. But according to the second shot, which he's a good place. The second shot makes more sense. But he says Tzorich Iyun. Why is it? So I answered the question is simple. Because the Alter Rebbe says Misha Shochach v'lo yanich tefillin. The Yid Nebach didn't put on tefillin today. So the Alter Rebbe says Yesh Lochush. You have to be choishish. Rachman al Tzlan is be over on a Issa deraisa not to put on tefillin. He's a mitzvah asay. So Yesh Lochush l'svar acharoni should be choishish even though a person is not allowed to do shnei kulas asay serezu. But Yesh Lochush l'deraisa. That the Torah says, so therefore, that he's a dain chayiv to put on tefillin. That's what I think the pshat is. If my pshat is right, I also answered another kasha. Why is it in Hilchas Tzitzis, the Alter Rebbe says, he's not like by tefillin. In Hilchas Tzitzis, he says that if they said Baruch Hu, you could still put on tzitzis and make a bracha. But if you said Baruch Hu, it's too late. Why is it different to Hilchas Tzitzis and Hilchas Tefillin? But now I have a good teretz. Because Lagabe Tefillin, the Torah says, Ukshartam lo'yseidach v'iltav z'menecha. It's a mitzvah say. Shum shemayim. Itach nish getana mitzvah say. So even though some say that you said already Baruch Hu, it doesn't make sense. Makes sense. Doesn't matter. Shoot and ask questions later. Put on Tefillin. Shvetet me fragen shaylas. Schap the tefillin and leg the tefillin. But lagabe tzitzis, even though biden the risnche, the meinish, a person who a tzitzis, a Yerushalayim always wears tzitzis, but still it's not the same thing. So therefore, look, so as the gezog Baruch was just a laila. Now willst du legen tzitzis and machen a bracha. I'm sorry. If they, that's a like tzitzis, like tzitzis, machen nicht kein bracha. If they said Baruch Hu, okay, listen, they said Baruch Hu doesn't behoove me. Even though the Gabi Shabbos, the Sefer Shabbos, and you could say the Sefer Shabbos and Leisa Malocha, all the Papulim we already went through. So therefore, that's why the Alter Rebbe changes his psak from Tzitzis the tefillin. The bite tzitzis, if they said Baruch Hu, okay, I could still put on tzitzis and make a bracha. If I said Baruch Hu, I'm toast. I can't put on tzitzis anymore. But the guy with tefillin, even if I said Baruch Hu, chop the tefillin and like the tefillin. Okay, Gabi, me and you, it's not so nageh. Like it's true, but I've been a tam. It could be those who put on a bin tam, sometimes in the rush. But it could also be negay. It could also be negay when you're doing miftzayim. It could also be negay when you're doing miftzayim. So I wouldn't say mamish so extreme. Shmulek said that in the Ben Gurion sometimes they say, "Oh, Lailav Zav's matfilm is derabonon." It's a little mugzam. I would say that's mugzam. But in the morning, from the minute of Aloisa Shachar, if you're having a flight going out early, which Minatoida, it's already this man. Minatoida, it's already this man. And even though the Rabbanan said to wait, but the Raisa really is this man. And the thing of Laila's man is only the Rabbanan. And then also by night, if say people already daven Ma'ariv. So what? He didn't daven Ma'ariv. He didn't put on film, probably he didn't daven Ma'ariv. And what's if you had a minion and it's in his own Baruch? What's the difference? But it's chayiv to put on film. It's a mitzvah deraisa. So as long as that it isn't Laila, so chaparayim I like film. I said Baruch, what the gezak Baruch? Sure.
You're talking about the guy himself or the people he's putting going on?
No, I'm talking about the guy himself.
What does that mix in?
I say if there was a minion and they pulled him in as the 10th man in the minyan, right?
Yeah.
They make minyanim there all the time when the Chabad film stand the Ben Gurion. They have like a minyan factory over there in the Bet Knesset there. You never saw?
I don't really know what you're talking about. I thought you're talking about when they have these film stands and they have all kinds of people coming.
Right. I'm talking about that too. Right, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that too. Right. So I'm saying even if the Kahal already davened Tfilas Arvis, and even if this man himself was there and said Baruch Hu, but Lepoil, it's a mitzvah deraisa to put on tefillin, and that's what the Alter Rebbe means. Toiv lochush l'svar acharoin.
You didn't put on tefillin in the morning.
Unfortunately, there are people that don't put on tefillin in the morning. Yes.
The Chabadniks you take
No, they're not the Chabadniks. The people that are walking over to the stand.
Oh.
It's probably down later in a minute also.
Huh?
People that are playing until 3 o'clock in the morning are probably down there later too. Not down in shotless before hours.
Yeah, I'm talking by night. By night they have, they have minyanim there, minyanim, mincha ma'ariv. Could have a person came in, they needed a 10th. Sheinachta tefillin kvar? You can have that very easy.
Yes,
So, okay, that's what the Alter Rebbe says. I think it's a glat pshat, and this is Yasha. Why is it by Tallis? If I said Borchu, it's over. By Tefillin, even I said Borchu, but listen, that's a mitzvah deraisa to put on film. Okay.
This is what about the leadership shop.
What? Oh, what I said, Tev Lochush. It sounds a little chassidish, but listen, it says Forta Doifik. The other pshat is, I think there's a little bit of a Doifik, but it goes. Okay.
Because everyone is agreeing off of it.
Right. I know. It's still dying tzas sort of thing, but I think that Itaka starts by saying Misha Shokach v'lo hiniach tefillin kol hayoim. So Klape his Astchola where he said Misha Shokach v'lo hiniach tefillin toiv lochush l'svar acharonim mipnei shelo hiniach tefillin kol hayoim. Because toiv lochush.
Whenever the Alter says such a lashon, it's going on the last thing you mentioned, not on the previous thing. On the ratio, maybe on the safe.
Okay. Yeah. It's a little bit, but I think it's not such a.
What do you mean trouble push? What's the problem?
Because the problem is that this guy was shokar v'lo hiniach tefillin kol hayoim.
Yeah. Okay.
And now he said Baruch. Now he said Baruch. He said Baruch. So he made it into Laila.
You know, but these things are made the Rabbanan, that they made it into there. It's only the Rabbanan. It doesn't change the fact of the writer.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. That's what he meant. That's what I'm saying. Toiv lochush, the svara acharon is toiv lochush, that the guy is still chayiv to put on film. He's not.
I wouldn't say toiv lochush. I would say chayav.
Okay, so that's what he's saying. That's why it's still a sort of a little bit the lotion. Okay.
I think the Alter will be masking corruption.
Yeah. I think so. I see this as the best shot.
He doesn't want to eat the possibility.
Yeah. So okay, we'll leave it at this shot. Okay. Very good. So I think we covered now Zman Tzitzis, Zman Tefillin. I have a very geschmack at Tzemach Tzedek and Keren LaDavid. Keren LaDavid was a Rav in Satmar. And the Tzemach Tzedek, and they were both Machavan, didn't see each other. Machavan, this nice Chiddush in the Rashba.
Satmar recently or Satmar? Same time as Southfield?
No, a little later. A little later.
Third Chabad.
He was considered very choshev at all.
Hungarian Jews were mamish moving into Hungary at that time. It was mamish.
Right. But his Sforim are considered very, very choshev. And the Mitzvah that we'll do next Tuesday, we'll do a beautiful shtickle on this. Tzemach Tzedek and a Keren LaDavid. And then the Shulchan Aruch next week we'll finish Tzitzis and we'll finish a Mitzvah Zman Krishma. And the following week we'll do a Mitzvah Blined Zman Tefillah. Even though yesterday we already made everything kosher for 770. But that's for the oven. We have to learn L'chatchila.
What is about you if he falls asleep? That people takes a nap from half the shkir after the face. When he wakes up at midnight to learn, he says the breakfast of parents.
Yeah.
So what's the seder again? If somebody does such a seder, the breakfast shachar, the whole
everything besides.
But it's not really days. So how do you get to the chil of tila? Like the brachas of Hashem Tzachavina. So it's kind of good. I mean,
I'll answer it. There's an answer.
Oh.
But Lamaisa, that's the minig.
If you went after what time?
From Chatzos
Halayla.
Yeah, the whole korbanos, everything. Even Satoira, everything. Everything. No, not Pichas Shachar, not korbanos.
No.
Korbanos is to be after Alois Shachar at least.
Mm.
No, just person that wakes up, early riser. That's the Lamaisa Psak, according to Menek Chabad. Why? So since you asked why, I'll believe that
they're not going back to sleep.
Or they are sleep earlier.
No, they went to sleep earlier.
They're going back to sleep.
Whatever, they're going back to sleep. Let them go to sleep.
They
You don't sleep. Let them go to sleep.
they didn't sleep the whole night, and it comes always the next day.
So then it's a little more complicated. But the Lamaisa also making everything. But then you wait for Alois HaShachar.
You have to wait always.
Then you wait for Alois HaShachar.
What always do they wait for?
72 minutes, not 72 minutes, 72 minutes. 72 minutes, the Hainu. Whatever you think 72 minutes means. Before you go back, you look at Hebrew dates. So they have in 72 minutes, there's 272. One is 72 minutes, Kipshuti, 72 minutes. And then, 72 means in Eretz Yisrael, B'Yom HaShavim, 72 minutes before sunrise. What is it? Is the sun is 15 degrees under the horizon, 15.5, 13. There's a few shittas. What's the pshat? 72 minutes. And that's what Chabad goes like.
Like that, so
Yeah. In Indian, it's 72 minutes, but it's just not that.
In Iceland, they're always saying for
Right.
3 hours of a day.
Yeah.
So how can you finish Shabbos so quickly? You have to down mincha already. So that's
crazy.
They would agree to say, or they would say maybe it's
I think someone said a nice thing. It says Torah Chadosh Miti Teitze, Chidush Torah Miti Teitze. Could be that when Mashiach will come, that the Bezdin will say that we have to, for these countries, we have to give a different definition of what's Yom V'Layla. I don't know. That's what Shabbos. I was saying Shabbos that I think that in a place like Iceland they should pass like Rabbeinu Tam. That is Zman Krishma. For me, it was painful. I waited. I was tired a few of the nights. I was busy all day, but I waited for Zman Krishma till midnight. And in the morning, because Krishma Shalarvis after Tzesek Achom was about 12 o'clock midnight.
What time was non-Krishma?
In the morning?
6.
So I put on the alarm every morning, and I just woke up and I said Kishma, and I went back to sleep.
Didn't Seder Kochavim overlap with all of the Shachar?
Not when I was there. Before that, it was, yes.
So then you just wouldn't even have a.
So that's why I said Shabbos, that I think in a place like Iceland, they should go at least like Rabbeinu Tam. That's man that Shema is man Shchiva and Zman Kime Lav Davke V'Yom V'Layv. Like the first Toysus. Huh? That's what I'm saying. You would have to say that. What would the
People have to sleep. We're not letting people sleep.
right? You're not letting them say Krishma B'chol.
Never.
Right. So that's why I said learn it later l'machashoris.
Yeah. You're 9
It's a
now.
3-hour day or 4-hour day, man.
Yeah, middle of the winter. It's like small kufa.
Yes, every show's not.
Okay, how long?
Yeah.
Okay.
From a list, so it's not
Okay.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Beer and 7
Okay.
minutes.
Crazy.
A beer 7 minutes.
Cool.
I'm behind.
If we have a minion
We
before
have
that, we can.
most of came in 9.
So we're not going to wait. If to daven.
No, if we have 10.
If we have 10, we'll daven. If we don't have 10, we won't daven. No. I have to figure it out. I think maybe I'm going to try to stay there tomorrow night. We'll hike up Habaranga. We'll cover Shabbos tomorrow night.
What? And that was fun.
Huh?
Once we're upside.
I was supposed to fly tomorrow afternoon, but I see if I can push it off, or it's Friday morning. What's the big deal? If I could, it's no, I could get an early flight in LaGuardia. They have 6 o'clock flight or something.
I shouldn't put anything else.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov, Rebbe, Mazel tov. Now the boys are coming in.
Yes.
The boys are coming in. A lot of them.
I couldn't
Huh?
leave it.
I don't mind doing it.
Wait a little bit. I'm gonna see. Shmuley told me he can't be here the Shabbos, and I want to wait to see if.
Remember?
Yeah.
So I'll leave it blank for now.
Yes.
You can always change it Friday.
Okay, fine.
We need only one more.
We need one more.
Yeah. Fine.
Okay, fine. So we'll wait for that. We need one more.
Okay. Is it in the appeal?
Yeah.
I put the appeal based on last person.
It's amazing. Torah has to be Zman and Mokum. Those are learning Rambam. So to now it's Chsheves Pigul, Chsheves Psul.
Yeah.
If in the wrong Zman, it could be the biggest korban, the biggest mod. But a person was thinking Machsheves Hazman, Machsheves HaMokim, it's Pigul and it's Posel. Because Zman and Mokim and Zman is even more important than Mokim. How do we see this? Because Pigul is only when the Kohen thought the wrong Machshava in Zman. And if he thought the wrong Machshava in Mokim, like he's going to eat it outside Yerushalayim, if it's Kochim Kalam, for example, then it's only Posel. So you see, Zmanim is very important than Halacha. Because the Indian is to bring Kedushin into every Zman. Already I'm a bottle carbonate. Uves Yuchaliskan is Shabitel Mitzvahs Krishma. Because from now on he's going to read Krishma every day very nicely. But that one, because it has to bring Kedushin to that Zman. It's not only mitzvah the person. There's a Zman that the Eibishter made. The sun moves and right, exactly. So the Eibishter wants that we should bring Kedushin every Mokim. Mokim is nish gefährlich. You can always go back to the Mokim. Zman? How could you ever bring back that Zman? You can't. You can't bring back Zman. So therefore, also, look at in the base of Mikdash, that were machmer more to a Kohen that thought the wrong Machshav and Zman than the wrong Machshav and Mokim. So, okay, Mida Tova. We're learning now about the Chshivas of Zman and they shall hope be able to bring a Kedushin every Zman, every Mokim.
Amen.
Pinchas, Shkoyach for joining us. Rabbi Blumkin and Shkoyach for joining us. Soll sein gesund. Rabbi Greenwald and Shkoyach. Yochanan and Shkoyach for joining us. Yeah, we should go to Mile Mazman. We should bring the Kedusha into Zman.
Amen.
Gute Nacht.
Gute Nacht. Thank you.